past couple of years, there has been a rise of fresh and new writers who take the pursuit of writing quite seriously. Many people may consider it as a hobby, but for these emerging young voices from Nagaland, it is something that defines them and gives voice to things, people, and causes they believe are important. It is through writing that their expressions find their homes. Vingunyo Talie and Rukunyo Legise are such two teenagers who have been writing vigorously. As students, one might think they would spend their free time indulging in things teenagers normally do. But these two young girls have definitely invested their creative energy into something worthwhile, writing and fulfilling young dreams. Vingunyo Talie is 16 years old and is the daughter of Kechalubi Talie from Rusuma village. She started writing poetry at the age of 14 and draws inspiration from songs and books. As the first prize holder in the state-level inter-school quiz competition Nagaland, Vingunyo Talie also participated in national-level quiz competition during the World Space Week on Earth Station, Hyderabad, and secured the 13th position in 2017. She enjoys music, poetry, and plays piano. For Vingunyo Talie, it is God's unfailing love that has enabled her to pursue her dream. Poetry is undoubtedly her greatest passion, and her first ever poem, titled Polestar, bears great significance for her, especially for the bright light it radiates. It is her ode to God because she says, "He has helped me all along and given me the ability to think and write." I Have a Dream is a collection of poems by Vingunyo Talie, a book that is categorized into 6 sections, namely An Ode to God, Seasons, Melody, Sky, Memories, and Destiny. Comprising of 42 poems, the book is a collection of mixed emotions, love, pain, and memories, as she says. The poems are accompanied by beautiful illustrations by Rofejazo Zivitse, who is also the creative mind behind the book cover.
When I thought of publishing this book, I had no idea how was I going to make this possible. But like every time, my parents always stood beside me and helped me in everything I do. Without the help, guidance, and encouragement of Vishwavita Krocha, this book wouldn't have come into reality. You truly are my best mentor. I have a dream. I have a dream to touch the sky, yet my feet on the ground. I have a dream to share happiness, realizing the value of tears. I have a dream to be successful, knowing my failures. I have a dream to inspire others, not ashamed of my story. I have a dream to be the best through my sweat.
The book, which is also the 14th publication of Pantril, was formally released by the Chief Minister of Nagaland, Naypiu Rio. During the launch, the Chief Minister had noted that the emergence of young minds who could pen their thoughts to ignite the minds of the readers were a matter of pride to Naga society, while expressing that the advancement of intellect is a good indicator of a society.
Tell us about yourself.
Well, my name is Vingunyo Talie. I'm currently studying in Dimapur after passing my HSLC examination from Northfield this year. And when I talk about my favorite pastimes, I love singing. Of course, baking also comes in, and then I love playing the piano, and of course, writing poetries. Since I've added singing, I can't say that I usually compose, but then whenever a random tune comes to my mind, I just hum to it.
When did you start writing?
I can't be sure of that, but as far as I know, I think I started writing when I was in class 8 at the age of 14. And what inspired me the most when I was in class 8 was my teacher, our class teacher, told us to write a poetry based on the nature around us. And I took out a particular pine tree to write a poem on, and then after writing it I realized that, oh, maybe I could write some poetries on this, and then from there I started writing poetries.
Okay. So what generally inspires you to write?
Everything and anything inspires me, but when I'm to tell, particularly based on my book that I've recently published, myself inspires myself to write poetries, because when I was young, we always stay in a cocoon, and then after coming to a teenage life, we tend to come out of the cocoon, and then we face the reality world, and then we face different problems, we come across different friends, and that is how it inspires me to write about myself as well.
So when is the best time for you to write?
Of course, any time is the best time for me. Whenever I get a pen and a paper, and the paper seems very attractive to me whenever I'm lonely or whenever I'm alone. So that is the best time for me to write.
Do you start writing the moment you get inspired by something, or do you sit down to write and the inspiration just comes?
I'll avoid the later question, because whenever I get inspired, I just take a pen and a paper and start writing down whatever comes to my mind. And of course, when a particular word comes to my mind and it interests me, then I'll just start writing down whatever that comes to my mind.
Please share with us your journey as a young writer.
As a young writer, it's a privilege to be publishing a book like this, because I should say it is a dream that I've never dreamt, because at a very young age, to publish a book, it's just out of our imagination. Seeing my book in the table or in my table, written my name on it, is just overwhelming. It's an overwhelming feeling, because every now and then we see books around us, but when our name's written on that book, then it just catches our eyes, like, oh my gosh, this is just a very good feeling, just seeing our book in my table as well. So, and this generation, for my generation, I think that we don't see young writers often like this, but then nowadays, of course, my juniors, my younger sisters, they are publishing the book, and it's very encouraging. And to be in that category, publishing a book in a very young age, it's a very good opportunity for me as well. So being a young writer, it is a privilege for me, and I feel proud of myself as well.
So can you tell us a bit about your book,
I Have a Dream. Yes, I have a dream. Everyone has a dream. So this book, as I've said earlier, it's a dream I've never dreamt, because it's beyond my imagination to publish a book, to bring all my collection of poems and publishing it in the form of book. So in this book, the first poem I've written is about Polestar. And that very word Polestar inspired me when I was in grade 7, when our science teacher was explaining about the space and the planets around the sun, and he said about the brightness and the radiation the Polestar gives. So I compared my life with the Polestar. Of course, we face many problems in life. It's always, as a quote, it says that the stars can't shine without darkness. So the Polestar, it just resembled the light God gives to everyone. So this Polestar, the very word Polestar interested me, and it caught me off guard actually when I thought of the qualities it gives. So that was what I tried to put into my book. And since the space means so much to me, it started with everything from the space, I wrote 3 poems, that is Pole Star, Sunrise and Moon. So those 3 I would like to read it out. Pole star, that is my pole star above my head but very far. It will always twinkle even when I gain wrinkle. It has different patterns with every turn. It shines in the darkness with full of its brightness. I am not afraid at night because of all the fight. I know my pole star even though it is far. It shines at night to make my feelings right. When my pole star glows, you'll forget all your flaws because that is my pole star even though it's far. Sunrise. Can I fondle the sunrise, sparkling like jet, which has no price, what a creation God made? Can I estate the sunrise until I grow old? No matter how much one tries, no one can get a hold. Can I depict the sunrise, if that is possible, because even the best and wise finds it inexplicable? Moon. You appear the biggest of all, the only you among million stars. You never tend to fall, yet I see falling stars. You seem farther more, yet closer than stars. But what are you glowing for when you know stars twinkle? Thank you.
An avid music lover, Vingu Nyotale also plays the piano. At the tender age of 15, Rukonyo Legise has accomplished a rare feat by taking the road less traveled. Nurturing her love for writing as a young girl, she has just finished writing a novel, which is in the process of publication, something that's rare to come by. And in doing so, she has proved her worth as a writer at such a young age. She is currently studying in class 9 at Jirio Higher Secondary School, Kohima. She loves to sketch and aspires to become a politician someday. Rukonyo Legise's debut novel is titled Way Home, a book that revolves around the life of a person called John. His past comes into the picture when Margaret discovers his diary during the period of his illness in a hospital bed. Margaret and his friends in the neighborhood had spent their childhood looking up at Mr. John, and they have fond memories of growing up together. With the discovery of Mr. John's diary, lives are drawn closer, bonds become stronger, and lost loves are found. For Rukonyo Legise, writing has always been a part of her, which is why she says, "I don't remember exactly when I started writing. It has just always been there." She feels it is wonderful to be able to express herself in writing. She recalls she would get upset if she didn't score good marks in English subject. While reasoning further, maybe it's because I didn't really follow the pattern, or maybe my stories were too lengthy and very different. But this experience has also broadened her mind in a way as it drew her to writing stories freely and the way she wants it. I wanted to write my story in my own way and not how the question paper was asking me to, she says. That's how she started composing stories of her own and hopes to continue writing.
Please introduce yourself to us.
Hello, I'm Rukunyo, a student of junior school. I'm studying in class 9 and I love writing.
What are your other hobbies?
My other hobbies would be singing, listening to music, and I like designing as well, and sometimes I can do some art.
Okay, when did you start writing?
I actually started writing when I was very young, probably when I first started writing my name, when I learned to write my name. So it fascinates me how what we speak can be written in ink on paper.
And what inspires you to write?
Actually, I draw my inspiration from anything that I see. I believe that everybody and everything has a story to tell. So most of the time, when I don't get to hear their stories from them, I just imagine it and express it in my writing.
And how often do you write?
I write very often. Whenever I don't have anything else to do, it's just me and my writing. So, yeah.
So which part of the day is most convenient for you to write?
I can write any part of the day, but I especially like it when it's quiet and calm. So, miraculously, I wake up at 4 a.m. every morning. So that's the time when I especially like to write. Everything is so quiet, calm, and it's just me and my writing. So yeah.
Okay, so you've written a very long novel, which is like more than 64,000 words. Can you tell us about your upcoming book?
My upcoming book, it is about a man named John. So it is actually based on a real life story, but it's like he couldn't tell me the story exactly in detail. So whatever he gave me, the fragment of his life story, I took it up, put my imagination on it, and then it has turned into those words. Yeah.
So you have actually met your character John?
Yes, I've met him in real life. He lives below my house. Yeah. He lives with us, and then the story is based on a family that has been separated for many years. The man, he waits to meet his wife and his children, and so do they wait for him. But and so finally they do meet, and that is how the story takes place.
What are your dreams for the future?
My dreams for the future would be to continue writing in a broader way. Actually, when I look back, I first started writing, I was not really good in writing. Whenever we had this story writing competition in schools, I would realize that I don't get good grades. So when I think about it, I didn't want to write my story in the way the question paper asked me to. I wanted to write it in my way, in the way I wanted to write it. So I started keeping extra copies, and as I wrote, I began to write a story. And in that way, I want to continue writing stories about people because it inspires me. And if tomorrow I could write something that inspires somebody else, my life would have meaning. Okay. Yeah.
Is there a message that you want to leave for the upcoming aspiring young writers like you?
I would say that writing is a dream for me, but I don't want it to be limited with me in my room, but I want it to go out, and I want my writing to be such that it could inspire somebody and give an impact on somebody's life. So I would like to say that if you have a dream, then take that dream, and if you could make somebody else follow their dream because of yours, then it would be so great.
What is your ambition in life?
Currently, my ambition in life is to become a politician. I think I want to become what I want to become because my hobby, it would be, it's all about writing. So writing is quiet and it is only in one room. But I don't want to be all about all talk and all writing, but I want to also bring a change in my action. So politics is loud and writing is quiet, I guess. So in my opinion, I want to become a politician so that I can write and reach out to the quiet audience, while I can also be loud and reach out to people who cannot hear but who wants to see a change coming.
If you are able to fulfill your ambition as a politician, how do you plan to manage between writing and politics?
So, like I mentioned earlier, I think politics is loud. So, I think that if I do become a politician, then I would be loud in my action. So as I do things, people will see me more of my my outside world, I would say. So it's all about me and my work, but I don't want it to be only about my work. I want to have fun also. So I might not be able to speak freely about myself to others as a leader, but I would want to write it how I feel and continue to express myself, because I think it would be lonely without writing and just doing that alone. If I do become a politician one day, then the first change I would bring is I would like to stop corruption, and of course the roads are always an issue, so that is one thing. But for me, the most important thing I think that I see in our land is that we need unity, and especially in the government and the underground people. So the first thing I would do is find a way, how difficult it is, find a way to bring unity between us, so that as we go on to develop our state, our land, we would also see that we're all happy together, and our happiness and our joy is not divided.
So writing is barely considered a profession in our society even now. If you become a politician, how would you, as a politician and as somebody who writes, how would you promote writing?
A writer myself, I would say, professional or not, writing is a very good art of expressing one's thought. So I think the government can do much about it. We could open opportunities for people to participate in writing competitions, and then as we open up opportunities, people will automatically come to learn about this beautiful art, and they will give interest. So instead of losing the art of writing as the future days come, it will grow.
Nagaland is strongly rooted to the oral tradition of narrating stories, but these young writers have moved beyond this idea, and the journey of writing at such young age will definitely inspire more people to follow their passions, work harder, and make a difference in the society we live in. Their creative works are reflections of new worlds they build around them, and are bound to spark more interest in writing and immensely contribute to the growth of literature in the state, a place that is blessed with rich stories and is just waiting to be told.